We are living in the age of awakening. I begin all of my talks with that statement. It's kind of like my placeholder to remind me that whatever I think is going on, there's a bigger picture kind of floating above me. And I know that every generation has always said, well, the return of the Lord is now, and it's coming, and this has been said for time immemorial. But as a scientist and as a nerd, I want to know more. I go deeper into what exactly does that mean. And one area that I look in is in science. Another area I look in is in esoteric teachings. And then I always find my way back to something in the Bible, or now something in Swedenborg's teachings. So what are some of the things that I've discovered that are going on? For one thing, we all know all of the earth changes occurring. The earth is going through its own shift, its own awakening. And all indications are that we are living on a cell that is part of a bigger body. Just like one of our tissue cells is living in our body. And we can confuse the notion of God and divine intelligence with what's going on in that body. For example, would one of your cells think that you are God when you talk to your body? Would that, because the tissues inside of you, they want to help you be healthy and happy, but they have their own agenda. Some cells have to travel to different parts of your body, others are distributing chemicals and so forth. Just like this earth is a cell in a much larger body, and there are things going on, meteors going by the earth. Last week we had a meteor come within half a lunar distance between the earth and the moon. That would have been an earth-terminating size meteor if it would have hit the earth. And people saw it in the sky with telescopes. And we have several other ones that are scheduled throughout the rest of this year. Somehow that is one of the signs that something is going on around the earth that's bigger than us. What seems to be occurring is that the earth is trying to right itself. It's working to take that wobble, you know how the earth is tilted? To right itself so its orbit is more harmonious with all the other planets. So there are stellar objects coming by, comets and meteors, helping that happen. So what some of the people in the esoteric community are saying is that this tilt in the earth is what's caused a lot of our separation, a lot of our challenges that we've experienced in recent times in humanity. Isn't that interesting? So just like we want to balance our own physical bodies to be able to be more healthy, we also want to balance our spiritual bodies to be closer, connected to Source, connected to God, to that message. Then we also have all these political changes going on. There's uprising in every single nation on the planet at this moment. That has never happened before. Never in our history have we had an uprising in every single country. Intensified in the Middle East, intensified in Europe now. Countries like Spain are having kids protesting on the streets. The banking system is going through their turmoil. Then we have natural systems on Earth going through their changes. The volcanoes, the earthquakes. Who can now say that nothing is going on that's happening to make change? So I ask spiritually, what does this mean to me? What am I supposed to be doing? And I reveal a lot of my process to everyone to help them with their day-to-day issues. How come we don't have free energy right now? I ask these questions. We were just having a conversation about cars and why are we still burning fuel inside an engine? There seems to be something off with the way we perceive time. Isn't that interesting? Our clocks and our calendars, they're off right now. Some people say they're off as much as 200 years. We should be in the year 22 something right now. We should already have cures for cancer and cures for AIDS. And there should be no one hungry on this planet. We should have no wars right now. We have everything we need to be that the reality that we wake up to. I recently went to a talk with Carla a couple weeks ago to a gentleman who participated in a program in the government that did time travel in the 70s and the 80s. There is technology available to us today to go forward in time and backward in time. I've also have interfaced with people who are extraterrestrial. They claim they are from other planets. These are not crazy, homeless individuals. These are professors, scientists, and everyday people. I've also interviewed individuals who've been to other planets, like Mars. What would it take for us to grow our belief system, our faith, to contain those realities, for us to believe that that's true? What would it take for us to believe that we can have a world in peace? No war occurring anywhere. A world that doesn't run on money. How is it that our world has become a business? And all of our natural beauty, our forests, our oceans, our commodities to be traded on a stock exchange. We are trading right now in DNA, in human tissue, in humans. Everything you can imagine is being bartered back and forth right now in this corrupt world that we live in. But there's another side to that coin. There's another side to that creation. We are being asked by Source, by God, by our intelligence, our divine blueprint, to shift as a humanity right now. We have a choice in front of us. It's very simple. Service to self or service to others. Love and compassion or greed and corruption. Exactly what the readings were saying today. The two things that make up heaven and the two things that make up hell. All of the things occurring on the earth, all of the things occurring in the economy, in the solar system, come down to those choices. And guess what? Earth has made its choice. Gaia, the intelligence, the consciousness of Earth, has made her choice. She is choosing to ascend, to go higher. So the understanding is that Earth is doing its best to make its healing, its shifts, without getting rid of so many humans as possible. Things in Japan could have been a lot worse. Things in Haiti could have been a lot worse. And there's even conspiracies that they were caused by artificial means, nuclear weapons that initiated the earthquakes in Japan and all that. Whether any of that is true or not is not important anymore. The important aspect is that each one of us has that opportunity to connect with Source intelligence, with God, with the central sun, and ask, what is my authentic purpose here right now? And when you do that, you can be given, revealed, the tools that only you can contain and can hold and can put to use. Just like Helen Keller said, that one thing that I can do, that's what I'm going to do. I'm paraphrasing. The one thing that each one of us has that makes us divine, that makes us what you might consider a superhuman, and each one of us has it. This is the time to connect with that. So I'll share with you a little bit of what I've learned is going on spiritually on the planet. There seems to be a grid, electromagnetic grid, around the sphere of the Earth. And it sits in the atmosphere. This was created and corrupt to control what's going on here on Earth. But there's another more divine grid being built, and it's already there, in place right now, on top of that one. So when you pray when you meditate, connect with that higher intelligence, with that higher reality that is already in place. We, right now, have all the tools to spiritually change the planet. Not in 100 years, not in 1,000 years, but soon. 2 to 10 years. We can have the healing that we're asking. We can have the energy that we've longed for and the peace that we've asked for. So the last thing I would say is raise some of the questions. And in the talk back, I invite you to ask what questions are coming up in your mind right now. Like, why is this happening right now? Why didn't it happen 1,000 years ago or before I was born so I could be born into a nice, peaceful, healthy, joyous planet? Because we have a divine opportunity to grow the kingdom of heaven. We have an invitation. This very turmoil that's occurring is inviting us to experience it. We've asked to be here. You might say our oversoul, our higher self, has made the choice, even before you came to this planet, before you were born, to be here, because this is the roller coaster of the universe at the moment. If you were to pick the one place in the universe that you can be to effect the most change, to glorify God in the biggest way, you're on it. And it's not an easy one. This is not a place for wimps, is it? This is not a place for newbies. This is a place for masters. This is a place for mastery, connecting to heaven. Doesn't that sound very interesting? And by going through this, by surviving this, we are each planting seeds for the next generation and the next generation. This work that we're doing right now, by holding our love in place, by holding our faith in place, has got repercussions, like a little pebble with ripples, that are going to be affecting generations ahead of us over 1,000 years from now. Even more profound than the great masterwork that has occurred in the last 2,000 or 3,000 years. How interesting, huh? So thank you for allowing me to share this message. And I hope that it inspires in you a little bit more confidence and faith that we're doing our job. It is happening. Thank you.